It's 5 a.m. in the middle of America. For Natalie Smith and her little sister Annalise, it's time to rise and shine. Today is a big day. Across the country, the morning ritual is repeated. Parents pull the curtains, pack the lunches, and prepare their children for big games and bigger tests. For the Ivy League and the major leagues. For outer space, for inner peace. Tonight, I'm exploring the heights and the depths parents will go to pursue their dreams of success for their children. I'll meet 4 very different families with 4 very different definitions of success.
This is Annalise. Come on out, Annalise.
Let's go. Shake your booty. Shake it, girl.
Children and their parents chasing American dreams. What leads a child to succeed and a parent to extremes? America, it can be inspiring and beautiful. It can also be dark and ugly. It's so many things, but it's ours. It's our America. My exploration of parenting in America starts in California, which is also where I started. I come from parents who were immigrants, and they were very, very strict about our upbringing. It was imperative that my sister and I get very good grades. I got 1 C my entire life, and it was in PE, and I got grounded for a month. I was never allowed to sleep over at friends' houses. I think the reason they were so strict with us is because both of my parents really wanted lives for my sister and me that they never had. For my parents, becoming American meant adopting American aspirations. We were taught to strive, to climb, that for an American, the only limit beyond class, caste, or tradition is the sky. But at what point do a parent's expectations diverge from the desires or even the well-being of the child? Between hard work and exhaustion, rewards and risks, success and failure, where do you draw the line? This is my journey to the edge of American parenting. And it begins here in Silicon Valley, home to the Pichonys, Deborah, Dino, and their twin boys, Dominic and Drake. Every family defines and pursues success in its own way, and the Pichonys are all about achievement all the time. It's 7:30 a.m. and the twins are getting ready for school, to be followed by tennis lessons for Drake and chess for Dominic. All this in the middle of summer.
This is not just about academics. We're preparing them for a very different economy that they're going to live in, but that they still have the social skills that go along with it. We do mandate that they have to wear collared shirts. And we make them chew with their mouth closed. We make them say please and thank you. We make them look you in the eyes.
You gonna work hard today? Yeah.
If we instill these values now, you know, the structure, the discipline, I mean, the foundation that we feel that we're setting right now
2 minutes.
is going to dictate their lives. And there's nothing more important than that.
I totally hear what you're saying, but there are some people who are going to be watching this who will say, but they're 6 years old. Are we really thinking graduate school and global competition at 6 years old?
Yes.
What do you have to say for the camera, Drake?
Graduate school and global competition are probably not on the agenda of most kindergartners, nor do most 6-year-olds have agents and brand consultants or endow a charity with their birthday gifts. That charity benefiting foster children was established by their mom, along with the twins' rigorous daily schedule.
What are you guys gonna do today?
Doorbells.
Nice.
The Pichonis spend about $40,000 a year to send both boys to Bowman International, one of the most competitive private schools in Northern California. Classes in session all year without a summer vacation.
There is so much to hear at the beach.
The student body here is made up predominantly of children of Silicon Valley engineers and executives, and many of them are immigrants.
Obviously, we're surrounded by an enormous population of Indian families and Asian families, and there is certainly a rigor and a mindfulness of education.
Tasha.
Krish.
The Pichonis have, in a sense, imported a parenting model from Asia, one based on extremely high expectations of academic achievement, of mastery. It's an approach I recognize, at least vaguely, from my own upbringing. The term for it is tiger parenting, and the Pichonis have made it all their own.
Are we tiger parents? No, I think we have tiger moments.
I can't watch.
Why?
Oh, I totally say I turn into like a Soviet coach out here.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Tennis is the only thing that really just.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Everything else I'm like low key about.
No.
Yes.
No. Oh no.
My expectations are high. Well, it's just.
She is type A when she sleeps.
After school, 6-year-old Drake plays tennis for 3 hours a day, 3 days a week. I know you don't want them to play team sports.
That's correct.
In a team sport, you can blend in. Individual sports, it's you against your opponent. I think you find out about yourself much sooner. And there's value in that.
More pressure that way, though.
It is. It is. But, that's life. Pressure, if presented in a good way, is a good thing.
Deborah Pichoni feels she wasn't pressured enough as a child.
I actually was pulled from gifted education because my parents thought it would be too much pressure. I was definitively raised to be married.
Deborah defied her parents' expectations. Her professional ambition drove her from one competitive arena to another, from politics to media to business. She thrives under pressure and wants her kids to do the same.
So much of our parenting really derives from our own experiences. We just really wanted a different situation for our kids. We wanted them to have the ability to learn who they are at a much, much younger age.
So do you think that if the way you are rearing your kids, if you had had that when you were kids, you'd be different people?
Absolutely.
No question.
Yeah.
You'd be better people?
I think had my parents been a little bit more mindful of my level of interest, which was clearly more an inclination towards science and math, you may have been talking to an astrophysicist right now. And I don't want our kids to go through that, because I think that's such a big struggle for a majority of people, is just figuring out what you want to do with your life. And I think the best gift we can give our kids is to help them figure that out as early as they possible can. I mean, this is it. And what we do now will be with them for the rest of their lives. No, you can't wear your hat like that. Come on.
Yeah, pretty soon it starts with head backwards, then tattoos, and who knows where we go from there.
The Pichonis may not give their children a great deal of choice in their pursuits, but they believe the structure and discipline they're imposing now will pave the way to a future of unlimited opportunities.
Heads up, come on. Focus, okay?
It's one approach to parenting, but in San Jacinto, a dusty town in Southern California, I discover another.
Not everybody's children are the same. Not everybody have the same upbringing. Not everybody has the same opportunities. And if every kid is in school and learning the same thing all the time, and they're not allowed to freely think, then, where are you going to have the people that make changes? Or the artists or the musicians.
As far as Button and Jimmy Sherman are concerned, success is one of many things you can't learn in school. For while the school year never ends for the Pichonis, for the Shermans, it never begins. They're unschoolers.
To me, unschooling is life learning, learning through life experiences, and natural learning where if something piques the kids' curiosity or they have a passion, then they can immerse themselves into that and not have to have restrictions on it.
Are you curious about the world around you?
Well over 1 million students across the United States are homeschooled. Unschooling could be described as the radical vanguard of the growing homeschool movement. While homeschoolers generally work with a curriculum provided by a church, a charter school, or the state, unschoolers reject the very idea of an organized approach to education. The children determine what they want to learn, when they want to learn it, and how. Okay, this did not turn out the way I thought it was going to turn out.
Maggie really likes art. Dexter, he likes to research things. Waylon, his main interest is Mars. He's always been adamant, even before he really got interested in space, that he's from Mars. How do you know that you're from Mars?
Kind of my hair. Because curly.
Because it's curly. Curly-haired people are apparently from Mars.
Button's approach to parenting, like Deborah Pichoni's, represents in many ways a rebuttal to her own parents. You went to Catholic school and you had very strict parents.
Yes.
And you met in the Marine Corps, right?
Yes.
That's like the ultimate structured environment. So how did you get from there? How did you get from there to here?
Well, my mom was really strict. My stepdad was really strict, and they had a lot of expectation. And not that the expectation was really a bad thing, but at some point it's kind of just, it kind of feels like strangling.
So do you think that some parents push their kids way too hard?
Oh, I've seen it.
I've seen it too.
Yeah.
And then you end up, you see kids that are miserable.
Jimmy, when Button told you that she wanted to unschool the kids, how did you take it?
I was apprehensive at first, very apprehensive, and almost to the point where I was against it, and I would say, no, we're not going to do this. I shared viewpoint along with a lot of other people that have heard about this. You're crazy. There is no way this is going to work. And there were days, like especially in the beginning, where it's like I'd come home and I'd go, did the kids learn anything today? Because
And what would I say?
ask them. Ask them, and I'd ask them, and they'd tell me what they did that day.
As a parent, you're kind of like the gardener, and they're that plant that you plant that seed, and as long as you keep feeding it, watering it, it's going to bloom and blossom. But if you're harsh on it and you overwater and you push it, it's going to yellow and it's going to eventually just fade away.
We've all been taught that education is the key to success. As they get older, are you at all concerned that one day they may fall behind?
No. I think if anything, they'd be ahead. Every subject you learn in school, you don't use in your career. I mean, I don't know many people that do. Whatever career they choose, it's going to put them
They're self-motivated.
ahead. They're self-motivated. It's going to put them ahead of the people that went to structured school.
This obviously remains to be seen. My first impressions of unschooling are that it's a very experimental approach to parenting. And as experiments go, it seems pretty risky. It was just odd to be in a household where the children as young as 5, 6, 7 dictate what they want to do and what they want to learn. I know that when I was that age, the things that I wanted to do and the things that I should have done were probably quite incongruous. But nothing, especially parenting, is as easy as it looks or as simple as it seems. As I spend more time with the Sherman children, I begin to see things below the surface I never expected. Can we go slower?
No, it's a fast-paced game.
Obviously. Dexter Sherman is 11 years old. He'd be in the 7th grade if he went to school, but his parents are unschooling him. He's the only one of his 4 brothers and sisters who's ever attended public school. How many grades did you do?
First in kindergarten.
And did you like it?
Yep. Didn't give me all the possibilities of unschooling.
What are the possibilities of unschooling?
I get to
be home all day.
I get to be home all day and spend more time with my parents than I would in a public school.
Later on in life, are you concerned about competition from people who have an education?
No, not really. If some people think they're better than me, that's their own problem. If people think I'm better than them, that's also their own problem.
But do you think you'll be limited because you aren't educated?
No, I won't be limited 'cause I am getting educated.
In what?
Right now, I'm getting educated in hand-eye coordination. Boom, shakalaka! I'm on fire! Dynamite!
All right.
Boom!
According to his mom, Dexter was advanced for his class, but he began to lose interest in a curriculum he found unchallenging and tedious. This, and the lack of funding for arts and music programs at his public school, led her to begin homeschooling Dexter.
When we started homeschooling Dexter, I mean, we had a structured homeschool. We
started out really structured.
We signed up with a charter school that supplies all the materials, all the curriculum, they tell you how to do everything.
But when Dexter's younger brother Joaquin reached school age, the challenge of homeschooling grew much steeper.
I knew when he was born that there was something different. He didn't get a diagnosis though till he was almost 5, right?
Almost 5.
He was almost 5. He didn't talk till he was almost 4. He was been diagnosed with autism, high functioning.
Joaquin's autism led him to a compulsive adherence to the Sherman's homeschool schedule.
If his routine gets broken, he'll short circuit, he'll have a meltdown, and it's not pretty.
While Jimmy went to work every day, Button attempted to homeschool Dexter and Joaquin and care for their little ones, Maggie and Waylon. Staying on a precise schedule became nearly impossible, as did containing Joaquin's meltdowns. Something had to give.
We actually had him throw the schedule board in the dumpster at the apartment we lived in and just kind of went from there. It was a slow progression into getting away from the curriculum itself. It took like maybe 3 or 4 months to completely go unschooling.
And how does this unstructured lifestyle and unschooling benefit him?
Learn to be more flexible.
It's learning to be more flexible, and it's helping him a lot because now he wants to learn things.
According to Button, Joaquin's dependence on a schedule has given way to a growing sense of independence and resourcefulness. And that has paved the way to real learning, to self-discovery. For the Shermans, what began as an experiment in unschooling has become a way of life. And now, the world is their classroom. Today, they're taking a field trip to a nearby science museum.
When we look closely at their remains, we can imagine them alive.
The curiosity of the Sherman kids is boundless, and so is their imagination.
Oh, what do you think those are?
Gophers.
Gophers?
How much of this experience is learning and how much is play or make-believe seems beside the point. The museum is an expedition to these kids, an adventure. What parent wouldn't want to cultivate in their children such an enthusiasm for science? And who's to say where it could lead them?
You know, with Dominic, it was very, very clear, very early on, where his propensity for math and science and his interests are.
Back in Silicon Valley, school is out for Dominic Pichon.
12.
Now it's time for some math drills.
2 equals.
It bears repeating, it's summer. The summer before first grade.
Times 4.
Joaquin Sherman, meanwhile, gets a math lesson of his own as he helps his mom prepare dinner.
He likes to cook, so there's a lot of math. But I want you to cut slices and then cut the slices in half. Can you do that? The measuring, so that'd be like fractions. You know, it's more hands-on, more practical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
What's 9 times 2?
8.
8? No, it's not. Come on. 9 times 2.
58.
Dominic, 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 2.
Dominic, meanwhile, has hit a wall.
Carry your 1.
He's had enough with multiplication tables.
Do you want to do division?
No. I want to do nothing.
Dominic?
106 times 1 plus 8.
Okay, can we do a new page?
Back at the Shermans, Joaquin's math lesson is also over. It's in the salad bowl. What comes next for him, I wonder. If Joaquin shows promise in fractions, where will he learn algebra, trigonometry, calculus? Did you ever think about allowing them to try school to see if they are interested in it or if their curiosity's piqued at all?
None of them have shown the desire to attend a public school.
Do you think kids are equipped to be able to make those decisions?
I think if you let your kids actually mature and let them express their opinions and be themselves, they would be able to. There's gonna be people that are like, you know, you're wrong, you're horrible parents. And we know what's working for us, we know what's working for our kids. And we really know, despite what everybody else says, it's really working for Joaquin. And in the end, you know, they're happy, and that's all that matters. Your dad's home.
But is that all that matters? Is a parent's role to please the child in the moment or prepare the child for the future?
What's over there?
And if a parent relentlessly prepares a child for the future, when will that child find time to daydream and imagine, to design and invent, among other things, themselves? Parents instill the values in their children that they think are the most important: hard work and discipline, creativity and risk-taking, competition. That's what the Carneys are all about. Terry Carney has very high expectations for his son. But if anyone can handle the weight, it might be Lawan.
Lawan weighs 140 pounds. Lawan can bench 225.
Push it. Push it.
He's only 14 years old.
Push it.
We're preparing him to be a conqueror.
Push it. Get another one. You ain't feeling it.
He will play football.
We really believe in him.
He'll make it to the NFL.
One more. Get one more. You got one in you.
Terry is not just Lawan's father, he's his personal trainer.
There you go.
And his regimen is intense.
There you go. Shake it off and come back. Get over and do me 25 jumping jacks.
Every morning starts the same way, with a 2-hour workout. If I were to ask Lawan how he would describe your parenting style, what do you think he'd say?
Probably be called a drill sergeant.
I call him a bully. But you know what? I can. I'm his wife.
That's called a dad, a father, you know. That's a father. A father is the lion of the home.
Come on, let's make it happen.
Terry's not a tiger parent, he's a lion.
I have to prepare him for the jungle that's outside the door. And if I don't prepare him, then what's gonna happen when he go out on the outside of the door? The wolves will eat him.
They're waiting for you.
That was a killer, huh?
The Carneys live in Los Angeles, where Lawan is about to start his sophomore year of high school and his first season on the varsity football team. Lawan is 5'5". He's still growing, but who knows how many inches he has left in him. One thing that is known, there are fewer than 10 players in the NFL who are shorter than 5'8". For now, the odds may be stacked against him, but Terry has equipped his son with a secret weapon. Lawan is a second-degree black belt.
He's been doing martial arts since he was 4 years old. And he's been disciplined since 4 years old to have confidence in himself to the fullest and to be the best that he possibly can be. So no matter what obstacle get in his way, he's gonna conquer it.
And what are you doing to prevent Lawan from burning out?
By the time he burns himself out, he'll be already in the NFL.
Burning out is one risk. Getting hurt is another. Football is the ultimate contact sport, and as a running back, Lawan will have to evade tacklers nearly twice his size.
Pick it up, Lawan. Pick it up.
Can a father's expectations be so high that they're not just unreachable, but dangerous? Terry Carney played football too, as well as basketball and baseball. So at what point, Terry, did you kind of go off course? Because you were really athletic into all these sports.
Well, I had some drama that went on in my family, you know. I ended up living with a couple of my brothers. I was basically raised in a dope house. And I used to watch all kind of people shooting heroin, and the best burglars used to come over, the best robbers, murderers. I used to watch all that while I was eating my cereal at age 8.
Right.
Watching prostitutes in the house, everything.
Terry's athletic ambitions took a back seat to survival.
See this house right here, 914?
Yep.
This is the house where we used to live at. And right there where that door is where our bedroom was, and bullets used to come through and come right by my ears, and I used to have to put the kids on the ground and try to keep the kids safe. Try to protect them.
To Terry, the risks Lawan faces on the football field are nothing compared to the risks beyond the fence, the risks of the streets. Terry knows them well. He came of age in Watts in the early 1990s, when the neighborhood was a battle zone between the Crips and the Bloods.
I used to walk these streets and hang out on the blocks and do my thing all over Watts. I don't want to put too much out there.
And for good reason. When Terry left gang life, he didn't look back. He got married to Melinda, and he became a stepfather to her 3 children. When they had Lawan, he moved his family to an apartment in West Covina, a better but by no means safe neighborhood. And Terry got himself a job. Now he works the streets of Beverly Hills on a paving crew.
When he comes home, he has like tar and stuff all over his clothes, and he just looks worn out. Like working a 9 to 5, having to do that every day, breaking your back, kind of inspires me. Just like, okay, he's making all this money to do this, so I'm gonna put all my effort into this and be the best.
For the Carneys, success is not just about football. It's not just about beating the opponent. It's about beating the odds.
You're gonna have to prove to people, because when they see you, they see a little black boy that they think is either gonna be in a gang, has been in a gang, his parents are stupid, uneducated. They don't see beyond your skin color.
My parents know they need to get me to that certain point to push myself and to get where I need to be in life as a man.
Do you know a lot of kids who don't have fathers in their lives?
A lot of my friends, almost all of them, are like that. And I'm really blessed to have my dad in my life. And a lot of them, my parents have always just took in, and they just like loved them just as if they're their own kids.
In a community where many kids are growing up without fathers, Terry has become a neighborhood patriarch. So all of Lawan's friends call you moms and pops?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Why do you think that is?
We feed them.
We treat them like they're our own. Gotta keep that momentum.
A strong and demanding father in a place where many fathers are entirely absent, if it's not an extreme approach to parenting, it's certainly an exceptional one. And it may be his son's best hope.
That's the thing.
For Lawan, football plus good grades may be the ticket to a better life, to a college scholarship, to the NFL even. But the freshman sensation will soon be tested on the varsity field, where the competition is bigger, the hits are harder, the lights are brighter. When a parent imagines a child's future, what does success look like? For the Carneys, it could be the NFL. For the Pichonis, it might be a corner office or the halls of Congress. For the Shermans, it might be the Museum of Modern Art. For one family in the middle of America, the Smiths of Davenport, Iowa, success is something they saw on TV.
I would love my kids to be childhood stars. I would love it. Obviously, it's not the normal childhood life, but every parent wants the best for their child, and I'm like, I want my little Mary-Kate and Ashley.
In a society that reveres reality stars and beautiful celebrities, are Kelly Smith's hopes for her daughters that hard to understand? The path to stardom for Natalie began a year ago on the beauty pageant circuit.
When Natalie started her first pageant, she wore no hair pieces, no makeup. I said, there's no way I'm gonna become one of those crazy pageant moms. I'm not putting makeup on a 1-year-old. I'm not putting fake hair, but it's real hair, so it's okay.
And so what changed?
You have to do what you have to do to win.
Natalie has competed in 7 pageants and won 5 Division Supremes. That's the top prize for her age. She's 2.5. That's gorgeous. I can see why she won Best Eyes. Do you have to be pretty to be a pageant girl?
You have to be pretty to be a pageant girl. I think that just is our society, though, because I truly believe that if you are prettier, you will go further in life. If a pretty girl and a not so pretty girl, or a skinny girl and a fat girl show up to a job interview with the exact same qualifications and both interview well, the pretty or skinnier girl will get it every time. I truly believe that that's our society today. And it starts, at a very young age.
So you think it's okay to start preparing for that kind of reaction that society has and
I don't think it's
applies
okay, but I mean...
I think it's a reality.
Another reality, kids don't always want to do what their parents want them to do. So the last pageant she did, she had a massive tantrum.
Massive. This was a terrible performance.
How come?
All she wants is her dad to hold her. You see her drop to her knees. She didn't want to do it.
Wow.
And there she goes again, kicking her feet.
Oh, that is not a happy little girl.
Pulling out her hairpiece.
So what does it say, though, when you see her not wanting to do it?
That it's time to get Annalise going.
Annalise is Natalie's younger sister. She's 1.5. Kelly's entered both of her daughters in a pageant taking place this weekend in Louisville, Kentucky. Annalise will compete in the 1-year-old division, and Natalie will compete with the 2-year-olds, if Kelly can get her on the stage. So this weekend's really an important weekend. Like, this is all about her future in pageants, possibly, huh?
Absolutely. If she does not do it this weekend, she's absolutely done.
Well, so we'll see this weekend.
You gonna do the pageant?
No.
Are you gonna go to the pageant with Mommy?
No.
Good morning.
Hey, baby.
Does a 2-year-old know what's best for them?
Come on.
Yeah, they want candy. They want to go play on the playground. But as parents, you think you know what's best for your kids. If you want the best for your kids, it's not always what your kids want.
This may be true of broccoli, but beauty pageants? What's the benefit of doing pageants?
I think the benefit of pageants is they get self-esteem. As much as, the whole you have to be pretty to win thing, I think that the girls can gain a lot.
But 10 hours, 3 states, and 2 tanks of gas later, I can't help but wonder, at what cost?
120, 30, 130. Now on to Annie.
Cumulatively, how much do you think you've spent on pageants thus far?
I definitely think we've spent over 10 grand on pageants in the last year.
Have you ever thought about directing some of that money to maybe a college fund or something?
Thought about it once or twice. You know, I've seriously thought like how much smarter it would be, but at the same time, I'm not getting my thrill doing that. Like, it's money away in the bank, okay? But it's not, woo, that's my girl, go girl.
As the costs rise for Kelly and Jameson at the Circle City pageant, so do the stakes.
I mean, I would really recommend the baby grand.
The contestant pool for the toddler divisions, the 1- and 2-year-olds, is going to be merged. And despite her belief that pageants could pave the way to stardom for Natalie and Annalise, the prospect of her girls competing head-to-head makes Kelly very uneasy.
When we signed up for this, the girls were not to compete against each other. It was 2 separate age groups. And what mom wants their kids to compete against each other? And one saying, I'm prettier than you. I beat you. Look at how many crowns I have compared to how many crowns that you have. Like, it's not fair to your girls.
Fair or not, Kelly's going through with it.
Smile. You want a surprise? Smile.
The day before the pageant is a whirlwind of makeup and headshots. And I can hardly believe it, spray tanning.
Yeah, girlfriend. Oh, what's the matter, honey? You're a pansy.
As Kelly put it, you have to do what you have to do to win.
A little big kiss.
As a parent, she believes that pretty girls are successful girls, and soon that idea will be put to the test. For if success is based on winning, what happens when a child loses?
Shake it. Miss Cassie will shake it with you. Shake it. Shoot this up.
For now, it's Natalie, not Annalise, who is being groomed, coaxed, and cajoled to be a star. But she's a tough assignment for the pageant coaches, former beauty queens themselves. So they've tried begging, they've tried bribing with candy and money.
There's $1. No. You can't have it. You gotta practice with Miss Mary all day.
I mean, it's obvious that the adults are deriving far more pleasure from this than the kids. So the question is, if Natalie doesn't perform tomorrow, will it be her dream that's extinguished or her mother's dream? I think the answer is probably pretty obvious.
Right around mommy, one time. Want some candy?
It's the morning of the pageant. It's time for Kelly Smith's daughters, Natalie and Annalise, to get dolled up and juiced.
Open up.
We call pixie sticks pageant crap.
That's what we do.
Annie, I got some other.
Is candy usually the surefire bet?
Well, I think candy gives them energy, and I mean, it makes them wild, which is what I want for her on stage. I want her to show lots of personality.
In addition to beauty and talent, toddlers are judged on personality, charm, spunk, and sparkle.
You see it all at pageants as far as the candy, the sugar goes. The little girls can be monsters and get what they want. It's whatever to not mess their makeup up, but yet keep them awake because there's no way to do it without that stuff.
Do you think there's a point at which it all goes too far? The clothes, the money, the makeup, the tanning.
I just think it's the competitive aspect of it. I mean, people get addicted to things all the time that take money, and it's just, going for that next title. Or when your daughter wins a title, it's like, yeah, she did it. Like, maybe she's one step closer to becoming that big star, or I don't know. You got Annie's bow for Mama?
Welcome all of you to the Circle City presents the Kentucky State Big Crown pageant today. I want to thank you guys all again.
As the competition begins, I get a glimpse at the older girls and their pageant-seasoned parents. And maybe of the future that awaits Natalie and Annalise and their mom. But as the girls take the stage, Kelly finds herself face to face with a vexing choice. With both of her daughters in the same division, who should she pin her hopes on? One girl's victory will seal the other's defeat.
As a mom, obviously you think both of your kids are pretty, but for a long time, and this is gonna sound horrible, I'm gonna cry, but for a long time, like after I'm gonna sound like a horrible mom, but after Annalise was born, you know, and then 2 months later, we started pageants with Natalie, and everything turned to Natalie, 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 Natalie. So like, really, like, even like when Annalise was born, I always said, oh, well, Natalie's a lot prettier than Annalise.
Contestant number 6.
Look at there's
This is Natalie.
Natalie is first up. While averting the complete meltdown that marred her last pageant, Natalie's performance can only be described charitably as uninspired. Meanwhile, her shy little sister Annalise, all of 16 months old, puts on a beguiling show, full of smiles and personality, and unlike Natalie, she strikes out on her own, boldly leaving Mommy behind.
When Annalise first went on stage, I was so happy that she was up there, and like, she's growing as a person, even though she's so little, you know. Someday she's gonna need to know how to get up in front of a group of people and talk or do whatever she has to do, and they have a shell that they have to break out of, and you know, I think this kind of helps them do that and will make them more successful someday.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please make your way on into the ballroom as we are going to begin the crowning ceremony.
Now, the time has come to crown a winner.
Step forward and take the center X, please. Our divisional supreme winner from the 0 to 2. Please step forward.
"5 a.m. in LA. Terry Carney wakes up his son Lawan with a protein shake. But this morning is different from other mornings. There will be no weights, no cardio.
Lord, I ask you to protect these kids from...
The only workout Terry gives his son this Friday morning is spiritual.
Give Lawan favor in all that he do today with his football game.
It's game day. Lawan may need Terry's prayer of protection.
Sometimes I get nervous when I see guys bigger than my size, but at the same time, I just look at it as it, I don't think about what they're gonna do to me, I think about what I'm gonna do to them.
Then again, with confidence like Lawan's and guidance like Terry's, it may be the other team that could use a prayer.
Whatever he do, I'm happy and I'm proud of him no matter what. He knows that. And whenever I'm there coaching him, we never lose.
Oh, he's in. He's in.
Lawan ran for 80 yards in the second half against Santa Monica. That's him, the little guy, number 24. And late in the third quarter, he scored a 12-yard touchdown. His team won 61-0.
Please make your way on into the ballroom as we are going to begin the crowning ceremony.
5 p.m. in Louisville. Another competition is about to be decided. Kelly and Jamison Smith await the results of the Division Supreme at the Circle City pageant. Will the crown go to their reigning diva, Natalie, or the promising upstart, Annalise, or neither?
All right, now step forward and take the center X, please. Our divisional supreme winner from the 0 to 2. Please step forward, Natalie. Congratulations to you, Natalie.
The result Kelly once hoped for suddenly seems like an empty victory.
I mean, I don't really know how she beat Annalise.
Why?
I want to go see the score sheets and see how the score sheets are and maybe talk to the judges.
The judges confirm it.
I asked the judges, I'm like, why did Natalie beat Annalise when you could clearly tell that she was resistant to pageants? And the judges agreed with me. And they were like, well, it's kind of all about the face. So, I mean, if personality doesn't matter and it's just about a pretty face, what's the point of pageants?
The point of pageants, as Kelly herself put it, is that you have to be pretty to win. But when Natalie defeated Annalise, when beauty defeated personality, Kelly began to question her own ambitions for her children and to reconsider what's best for them. For the first time, perhaps, it dawns on her, success may be more than skin deep.
It's easy to forget what's important. The role of the parent is to be present. Children, they grow up so fast and then they're gone. But someone told me a long time ago, the more time you spend with them when they're younger, the more time they'll want to spend with you when they're older. Very simple, but very profound.
Whether you're a stage mom or tiger dad, unschooled or old school, every parent has dreams for their child. Expectations which may shape their future or lead them to break the mold. And when they grow up and have kids of their own, what kind of parents will they be? What will be their expectations? Only time will tell.